Hey everybody, it's a minute past Tuesday, and welcome to Boyz Night. I'm your host, Dillon Kane, and these are my two inarticulate co-hosts.
Oh, I'm Andy.
And I'm Nick. Oh, Jesus, I gotta clear my throat again.
Alright, well, you could have done that before we started, but wonderful.
No, we're too
I
late.
think he was trying to.
We're already in deep.
Nick does a lot of throat clearing before we start.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you get it up, Nick.
It probably damages my
Our
throat
hearts
more
go
so than
out
anything.
to you.
Yeah.
So,
Are you
How was you guys' days before we get started on this?
it was alright, I guess. It was a
So
long day at work.
Exasperated, a little
Yeah.
embarrassingly
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Gotcha.
I didn't do anything today. I woke up and then I decided, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because woke up at like 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my girlfriend with me and she was just wearing a fucking pink sports bra, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, alright.
Everyone can make their own assumptions about what happened next.
What happened? What
I think
happened?
the assumptions are going to be way worse than what actually happened.
Yeah, like, you want to explain what
I
you
would
were
like to
doing?
hear those in the comments.
Way worse.
Or I'd like to read those in the comments.
So,
You'd like to hear them in the comments. You want somebody to read the comments to you?
No,
Preferably one of us. Would that help you?
I want Lung
Would
to
that
read
get you
them.
off if we
There are-
read the comments
absolutely.
to
Guess
I want
what?
Lung to read
You
it.
want me to read the comments? There are no comments. That's the comments.
There will be now that I said that. So
you? No, there still won't be. There won't be any comments. What makes you think there's going to be comments?
hey man, you don't know.
I
I'd like to
suppose I
comment
don't.
on that.
Yeah.
You'd like to comment on it?
I'd like to comment. I'll comment on the video and read my own comment. How about that?
All right.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You do that. You start the next show that we do, just reading that one stupid comment you're gonna leave.
Gotcha. Don't even worry about it. I'm far ahead of you.
So
Alright.
tonight, guys, I think we're talking about 30 Days a Night.
I'm pretty sure
are
we
we?
did. I know we watched that just now.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I don't know if you guys know, that movie came out in October of 2007.
Oh my god, it's perfect Halloween movie spoopy time.
Yeah. It was directed by David Slade.
Yeah, you had to yam me twice there.
Yeah, I did.
Just to hammer home the point.
yeah.
It was directed by David Slade. Excuse
Did
me.
you say David Spade?
No.
I'm David
It
Spade.
was directed by David Spade and stars
And stars Josh Wartnight or whatever the hell the
Josh
pharmacy-
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Josh Fortnite.
Chug Jug.
Amazing. Person going on to make Fortnite.
And a bunch of other people. And I don't know if you guys noticed this movie. I know Nick's gonna get real turned on by this. It was produced by Sam Raimi.
Fucking yes, that guy's the man.
Yeah. So I was looking into how this movie came to be a little bit before we got started, right?
Uh-huh.
So apparently, you guys know it was a comic book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So before it was a comic book,
Graphic novel.
they pitched it as a movie. Apparently, and because nobody would,
Like, take it as a movie?
yeah, nobody liked their pitch. I guess they decided to make it a comic. And then afterwards, they went back to pitching it as a movie. And Sam Raimi really liked it, so he helped them do it. But they started in, I think, 2002. This movie came out in 2007. And it didn't get rolling until 2006, like, production on it.
That makes sense, yeah.
So it was stuck in, like, production hell for, like, a little bit there. I don't know. Most production hell's a lot longer. I don't know if you know. Do you know what production hell is?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, production hell is when a movie takes, it's just stuck in kind of like a limbo.
It doesn't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
there's just
It
like
doesn't go anywhere.
multiple factors like delaying it
Whatever,
and all this other
it's just
shit.
constantly getting delayed because of changes in writers or whatever. They just can't get production off the ground on it.
They keep rewriting the script or some shit.
Yeah. But Sam Raimi, I almost said James Raimi. I don't. That's not a person.
So back to David Spade.
Yeah, James Raimi. Sam Raimi decided to.
Sam James Raimi?
Yeah, Sam James Raimi decided to help it get off the ground, and that's why the movie exists.
Oh, thank God, man.
Came out on October 19th, 2007. Nice spooky
19th?
19th.
Yeah, you said 19th.
Having problems tonight, I guess.
Stroke.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so first on our podcast here, before we get started,
unwritten podcast rules. There's definitely not a sheet telling us what to say next.
Yeah, definitely not. Um,
Nope, this
Nobody
is
can
all
tell
off the
this is
cuff.
we have
audio
our
show.
first segment, opening the metaphorical
Fuck, you
jar.
called it a segment.
I came
Now
up
we
with
have
that
it.
title myself,
Oh, the
guys.
metaphorical jar.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about strictly just the film's opening.
Oh, wonderful.
Metaphorical jar isn't
can't
on
wait.
the paper. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So,
the opening isn't very eventful, I'd say. Or really, like, compared to other movies, it's not very eventful. Not much happens.
I think it just sets it's there just to set the tone of the movie, or at least just set the more so the like just where it takes place, just the setting.
Yep.
In the snowy wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Snowy wilderness.
'Cause
Yep,
it's just-
snow everywhere.
I guess it's a little like they have the creepy guy, Ben Foster.
Oh no,
walking
yeah, that
around.
makes it creepy, and they have the music like fading in and everything. But it's just more so to be like, it's also like the grand scope of it all, because there's that one scene where he's like, isn't he past like a frozen ship or some shit? It's just like, it's just some building or something like that. But they're showing it from like just such a like a far distance away from where he's standing. It's like, oh, it's just nothing but snow and various things like you'll just see, popping up out of nowhere, like that frozen building or ship or whatever.
I would say that the movie has two openings because you have the snow opening with Ben Foster, and then it opens again. I think with,
then opens again to see like who the main characters are, like in the town.
They're like investigating something.
Yeah, well, you open up with like the two cops like investigating like they're investigating like a crime that happened of like where
The dogs don't get killed till later.
Yeah,
so
no.
they're just going around. I think they're just going around setting up. They're investigating something.
No,
but
they're
mostly-
investigating. They find a patch of like something in the snow. It was like a patch of burnt cell phones.
oh yeah, burnt cell phones
Right,
Yeah,
like in it.
right.
And then because then he's just like, was it some kids like they're like the world or whatever, like telling their parents to go fuck themselves?
It's like no, it couldn't possibly be. They would have left a note too.
Yeah,
They
Like,
would've
of
left
course.
to
Mom.
their parents or something.
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course they would have left a note like "fuck you, mom and dad."
But I wouldn't say that's a second opening because that's kind of just getting the movie rolling.
It's I don't know. I guess you could say it's the second opening in the fact you just see our main star there,
yeah. I mean, a lot of
and you
horror
get to
movies.
see what he's doing.
A lot of horror movies have that separate, like opening scene that could just be like a horror short film, like
Like the initial opening scene.
yeah, like
I mean,
it's not
it'd
really
be-
a horror film. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a horror sci-fi thriller thing. A Quiet Place has
Yeah.
that cool opening, that where the kid gets taken or whatever.
Spoiler alert.
The whole thing is spoiled.
Yeah, whatever.
You're gonna put it in the description when we're done with this.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
All right, guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It could get spoiled for people.
Yeah. So, and you know what I mean, though, right? Like Dracula, even like one of the earliest horror films had like that opening with Renfield.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
They always have like that short opening thing that's kind of detached a little bit from the rest of the movie. I think they were trying to do that, but not enough happens. It's just Ben Foster walking around.
Yeah, it's.
And I wouldn't say the other, like I said, it's just getting the movie rolling.
I think. I mean, I guess it's just there to give you the scope of how like vast the landscape is that the characters are in. But I don't know. I think you could have had like a thing where he's just like.
A good opening scene sets
see
everything
see
up,
the
and it didn't really
Josh
do
Hartnett finding the pile of burnt cell phones, and then you see the guy like walking towards, and you see him like he's like right at the edge of the fucking town.
yeah. I
It
mean,
would have been a lot. I don't know. I think it would have just eased people into it a lot better.
I mean, you see, like it's a giant Arctic tundra that they live in, but the town itself is very small.
Yeah,
Like that
I
you noticed.
appreciate the Arctic tundra like kind of setup in the beginning,
Of this
but
like weird.
the
in
town doesn't
Alaska.
feel as isolated as the opening does.
Yeah, I mean, there's an airport to it, but it closes down. Like I guess like every so often.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I mean, like people drive. Like you're able to drive in like on top of
doesn't
snow.
even really set up the threat. Like a good opening scene maybe would have had somebody in the middle of the wilderness like doing something, and then a vampire comes and kills them or something.
Yeah, honestly.
Something. I mean, I know that's like
Yeah, because
generic.
they
but
kind of
could've
just come out
done
of
that.
nowhere. Yeah, I know.
It doesn't even set up the villain. It's just a weird guy walking
that-
around.
I
And
guess
that's-
at that point they were just assuming you would have seen like the million like TV cut ads or
yeah, I don't like
trailers
that.
or
I
whatever.
don't like that assumption though.
No, yeah, or just like, oh, I saw the poster. Oh, it's like some guy with things.
And that's where I think like the character that we see, like the stranger that you see, like in the very beginning. I think that's where they like failed with his character because he could have set all of that up because he knew about them and he knew Like he knew like what they were. He was trying to become one of them, and instead of like just because he could have been used to like explain like what they are, like what. Like how they work more or less, like where they came from.
Right.
Like instead of doing that, like he just doesn't really do anything.
He could be like doing that bait thing that they do later with a random person in the wilderness, like you know, just kind of like walking towards them, like, "Hey, can you help me with something?" And then a vampire gets that person. You know, something like that.
Because I can assume he killed those dogs so like they could smell, so the vampires could smell the blood and come to the town, so they knew where he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much like all he does in like the movie.
Kind of skipping ahead though. I just, you know, I think
really what the opening thing.
I wouldn't
should have
take
been.
it out. I wouldn't take out the opening scene.
I just, I guess I would just change it to be like, you don't see what they look like. You just see him talking to him. Like you just see them talking to the stranger. And like giving the order
maybe
and
like
stuff
in
like
that weird language.
In that
thing.
language that they have, that he clearly understands, or whatever the case is, or maybe he just also speaks it.
They speak it, but like you could speak English and they understand you, but will respond back in like their own language.
Yeah.
No, and then you could just like see in the subtitles like "go to the town" or something like that, and then it gives like the title card or whatever.
Yeah, after they kill like a person to set up the threat, you know.
Oh yeah, like they just like slit
Like you
someone's
have to
throat
have someone get killed in that opening.
Yeah, maybe it
in
could
a
have been
really
like his
good,
girlfriend or something.
Scary opening scene.
Like a horror movie, like they like all have like someone getting killed in like the opening scene to like set the tone for the rest of the movie.
Or at least somebody getting attacked in some way by the monster. Like the beginning of Dracula didn't have somebody get killed, but Renfield gets taken over by Dracula. Like, he gets made into like a follower. Unless you're counting that thing. I don't know if you guys have seen Dracula, but he kills all those people on the boat. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Never seen Dracula.
Are you
I'm talking about
to the Lugosi one?
Yeah,
right?
obviously it's the best Dracula.
The Spanish one's pretty good.
Yeah, no, a lot of people say that, but we're not talking about Dracula.
In regards to vampires, we can't bring up Dracula.
Oh, we could
Dracula.
Dracula.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a fucking stroke on the show, I swear.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be.
Just have a stroke.
So anyway, guys, that's it for the podcast.
That.
I don't know if we'll be having another one of these, considering one of
would
our
just
co-hosts
cut
is dead.
out. You would just cut out.
I'm sorry.
Emptily,
You
like,
would.
Like it's just
You would,
nothing.
you would,
Emptily.
No, we have to like end it like properly, dude.
I'm sorry.
I'm having a hard time tonight. I just said emptily.
Emptily?
What does that even mean, man?
I said Dracula and you said emptily.
What did I say earlier?
Oh no, it's me next. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm gonna be embarrassed soon.
All right, Lung, you want to explain the rest of the movie?
Jeez, that's a tall order.
It's just a quick summary, because we're gonna get into our likes and dislikes later.
Right.
But just
we're gonna talk about everything.
Quick
else,
summary
like,
of the remainder of the film. Not a lot happens.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, like, if you want like a general overview of the movie, like, not a lot happens. Like, you get the opening scene, you see all the characters. A lot of them leave when.
Who are the opening characters? Like, who are the overall characters?
Well, you get like the sheriff.
Josh
Eben,
Hartnett's character, yeah.
Yeah, Eben something. I don't remember what his last name is.
I don't think they give a last name. They
do. They do.
They do?
It starts with an O. It's like Oberman or something like that.
O'Reilly.
not entirely important. You have like what would seem to be
Olsen.
I thought I was really hoping it was O'Reilly, so
like
it could be like the
Elizabeth
auto.
Olsen.
You have like what I assume is his like
his
ex.
wench.
Yeah, his ex-wife. Like that's because they were like getting separated.
His
like
ex-wench.
You learn.
I
that
don't
in the
think they
beginning.
were divorced yet.
Yeah, no, they were getting separated.
Yeah.
That's a really funny thing. Just to stop the brief summary for a second. It's almost comical how many times that I think it's his partner like on the police force in this town brings up like, oh yeah, you guys should come over so you can like talk things out. They bring that up like 10 times at the start of this fucking movie. It's insane.
Yeah.
You guys should talk it out. You guys.
Yeah, I know
that guy. You guys should talk it out. Talk it out. You guys should.
That guy really didn't want them to get divorced. Like,
yeah,
it was a major.
He
part
did not
of
want to
life.
deal with her bullshit after they got divorced, and she was, oh, I can't believe you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she was leaving anyway. Like she was like.
Oh yeah, she was like boarding on a plane to like go to Seattle. Everyone was leaving to go to Seattle in the beginning of this movie.
But like then.
Is that where they're going?
Yeah, most of them were like saying they were leaving to Seattle. I guess it's because like still kind of close to like their climate. It's just not. I don't know. I guess it's just a good getaway for them. Where else are you gonna go from Alaska?
Yeah.
Just
Canada?
I guess right to. I think they were trying to stay somewhere in the United States. It sounded like, so they want to go to Seattle, in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Geography.
And I mean, like, and then you see, like, all the other characters, but it's really those two characters that are really, like, the only important ones, I would say. Like, a lot of the other characters, like, you have the sheriff's brother, like, for instance. Like, he doesn't really do a whole lot the whole
He just
movie.
sits there.
I don't even know what his name is.
He just sits
Jake,
there.
I think.
Yeah,
Jake?
yeah.
You're talking about the kid that
Yeah,
I
the
thought
kid.
was his son for a second.
Yeah.
He just sits there playing like the fucking Sorry or something by himself. Hey,
I know he really wants his grandma to play Sorry.
He asked his
with him or
grandma, and
whatever.
she's like, "Sorry, I don't care for those games like that." Yeah. And then and then fucking Eben,
They're
Josh
trying
Hartnett's
to
character comes
subvert
in.
your expectations
Yeah.
because she's a grandma, so you'd think she'd want to play board games, but she doesn't.
No, she's
But no,
she's a
fuck
cool
that,
like
Sonny boy.
Dude.
I don't play that shit.
It was a role. It was like a role reversal. The kid wants to play the board games, and the grandmother doesn't.
Do you think it's an early 2000s trope? Not just this is just
It's
generalizing.
definitely like actually written by Ryan Johnson. You know, the Force, not the Force Awakens, the
The what?
Can't help
new
you here.
movie, the Jedi movie that just
Rise of Skywalker?
no, the one before that.
Dude, Jedi,
I
the
hate
Last
Star
Jedi.
Wars. I
Last
hate
Jedi.
New Star Wars so much.
All right,
yeah,
we're
the
not
Last
talking
Jedi.
about new Star
That
Wars.
was so bad.
Yeah, okay, we're not
Welcome
talking
to
about
the Star
fucking
Wars
Star...
podcast,
Yeah,
everyone, where we talk
welcome
about
to,
Star
like,
Wars. Have
we're-
you guys seen Star Wars? Star Wars is
Oh,
great.
remember how Last Jedi, little bad Last Jedi was? I can't wait for Rise of Skywalker. Did you know the final trailer came out?
Hey, Long, you were talking about summarizing the movie, right?
Yeah, I got, like, cut off
I
by,
was
like,
just fucking...
two other people.
Yo, I was
It's,
bringing
like,
something
crazy,
up
dude.
actually relevant to the early 2000s, how it seems that they started this
Star Wars in
trend.
the early 2000s.
No,
Yeah, Star
I
Wars,
wasn't talking
early
about
2000s.
Star Wars, though. You just decided to melt out into fucking Last Jedi. I was talking about how it's...
I was
it just
talking about
seems-
how they subverted our expectations.
Yes, but what I was going to go into... Yeah, because the grandma, you think she would do it. No.
Yeah, you don't have to explain the joke.
No, I'm not.
Again.
I'm not talking about that. It just seems like there was this trope that started in the early 2000s where and it was in like this and like animated films and whatever the hell they could put it in. It just seemed like they were like, oh, the grandma's like really old, but man, is she still fucking awesome or something?
Yeah, they did that in The Mist too, right?
Yeah, like
Remember
where
the
grandma was
grandma
just
with
like,
the fire thing?
It was in a bunch
Yeah.
of animated films too, where it's like, yeah, you know what, fucking your mom. For some reason, in every early 2000s, and it still kind of continues.
She doesn't do anything though.
No. She's just like, oh yeah, she's like cool for saying that, or they just have like the elderly, particularly elderly women, be these like, like these low key cool characters, and
Yeah,
just
I wish I
there's
could
some
come up
weird
with
trend
more
that started.
examples other than The Mist, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Hoodwinked. It's mainly in animated films.
Hoodwinked.
Yeah, because they make it now that it's like, dude, no, your mom is cringier, and grandma is just like, yeah, your mom's like a weird shit or something. Let me show you this cool stuff. No, it's true. Because then, just talking about Hoodwinked, since I brought it up, she's just like SSX tricky like snowboarding in that one scene in that movie, and now we're talking about kids films for some reason. Let's talk about fucking 30 Days a Night again.
All right,
Finish
back on
summarizing
track.
the goddamn plot.
You see all of our other characters, and they're all doing their thing. People are
Eating
leaving
ass.
the town because they're in Alaska, and in Alaska they get 1 month out of the year. It's just nothing but night. So you have 30 days of nothing but night.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna look up.
Is it 30 days of night and then 30 days of sunlight and then 30 days of night?
No, I
again?
think it. No.
No,
I was
doesn't-
looking this up. It's called a polar night.
It's one of those like
polar
there's like
night.
one time period. Every...
It's only the one time period where that happens. It's like an actual thing that does happen in parts of Alaska like that, but it's only for again that exact like month period of time. It's not like a every other month thing. We just lose sunlight because that would just fucking suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it already looks like a shady town to live in.
I'm sure there is. Like, I don't know anything about weather or sunlight or
Weather.
anything like
I don't know
that.
anything
We're
about
not
weather.
meteorologists.
Snow, what is that?
I don't. Yeah, rain. As far as I'm
rain
concerned,
can-
that's God crying. But
I don't know what causes that.
I'm sure. I think
Causes sand.
causes sand.
That's what you said.
I didn't say
At
that.
the
I
risk
definitely
of
did not say
sounding
that.
extremely stupid, I'm not going to say what I was going to say about Antarctica and the times that it's dark there. You can continue summarizing the plot.
You know, like, the sun's going down. Like, you know, like the townsfolk, like they're all doing their thing. And then you get cut to a scene where, like, some guy, because, like, it's just, like, nothing but calm, like, casual banter between people. And then it just, like, immediately cuts to, like, this guy, like, killing dogs brutally with a knife. And you're like, all right.
That was the stranger guy.
Yeah, that was the stranger guy that you see in the beginning.
Ben Foster's character.
Very upsetting for anyone who owns a dog.
Yeah, very, very upsetting.
It's always sad when dogs die in film, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing that everyone agrees on.
And well, the mystery is it's that stranger guy that you find him in
It's a
like
rainbow for some reason too.
you find him in like a diner, and he's like,
No, was he in a diner?
yeah, it was
No,
in the
'cause
diner.
he goes to the
harass-
diner after
Yeah, he
that.
was harassing
That's right.
the waitress that was like giving him coffee or whatever, and he's like, I want like a bowl of hamburgers,
A raw hamburger.
raw hamburger. The only meat you get here is
frozen or burnt.
Yeah, because it's Antarctica.
Yeah, we don't like.
It's
we
Alaska.
don't
Oh my
have
God,
medium
I'm gonna
well
slap
here.
you.
We don't have medium well. We don't have medium. We have frozen or burnt.
Yo, if that
They can't
you-
stop the stove halfway through.
I mean,
no,
I
this
guess
can't
if this,
happen.
I guess it could also work if it wasn't Antarctica. It just was like, the nights do last a little bit longer, not like for a month's period of time. But it could also be a thing like they're just studying the weather in one of those like little, like government stations or something, and then it's just like a couple survivors against like this wave of fucking vampires that somehow weren't slowed down by the cold or anything.
Yeah, they're like all wearing like really nice clothing for some
They're
reason.
They're
I don't,
wearing
ver-
jackets.
yeah, they were. I mean, like they were wearing
To be
like
fair, but
I
they're
know,
like
wearing
balls
like,
jackets.
they're not wearing appropriate
not heavy clothes,
Yeah, no.
but like the bald guy, he was wearing.
They looked like they were
the
wearing.
only ones that were really wearing jackets were the ones that were like turned within the town because they were already wearing jackets.
And the leader, but I would say it's a winter
I
coat.
think he has a name.
Does
he has
he?
a name.
It's like-
Why don't you get up to the vampire part in the plot, and I'll figure
well,
out
like
the
we're
name.
like basically
got
they're
the
already
name.
like we're talking about the stranger. Like they don't. The vampires just kind of like happen.
The leader's name is Marlowe.
What a lame name for a vamp. But
Yeah,
we'll get to that
it's
in
a
a
pretty
second.
stupid name.
Yeah, for vampire Marlowe. All right. Anyway,
Did they even say it in the film?
No,
I
they
don't-
do. It's like in the subtitles.
Gotcha.
does he say like?
Well, the humans wouldn't remember the name or know the name.
No, but
to
no,
remember
you hear him
it,
say it to his other vampire buddies and his
Yeah, does like
vampire thought.
does
whatever.
he say like
That when-
in like his vampire language like Deek
Oh, yeah,
Marlowe?
that's the. We finally got to that point. So just
it's
no, we got to that point. So I'm just gonna let everyone listening right now. So the whole time, So at one point in the, I don't know if it's I can't tell if it's a made up language or like Hungarian or some European language.
It's
that
not
they're talking.
Hungarian, dude.
I'm just guessing. It would be a cool callback to Bela Lugosi.
Hungarians run around going deek.
Yeah, I
You
want to go
kept
to
saying that.
dude. I want to go to Hungary and I want to hear someone say Deek.
So
You walk into a supermarket, the cashier just like opens up the drawer. Deek.
What Deek?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to fucking.
Would you like deek bread or deek ham?
I'm gonna,
To
Would you
go
like
with
some
that
extra
Deek
Deek with that?
oh my god, I'm gonna have to fucking extremely edit the audio.
Chaka deek.
Yeah, so he says something like that, and Dillon and Lung couldn't shut the fuck up saying "deek" every 5 seconds as I'm trying to watch the movie so we could talk about it.
His dad. Dad, deek. He just comes out of the
Vampire.
bushes, deek.
He says Marlowe says it one time during this.
No, he
fucking-
No, he
says
did
it
multiple
multiple
times.
times.
He says
twice.
it at least
he
3
says
times.
it twice.
It's the most common word in their
No,
language.
it's fucking not. In the
It's the
English.
best.
No,
it is-
not in English.
It's the best word that they have.
Yeah, Nick
like it
thought I
means so
meant
many
English.
things. You know how like one word in like English can mean so many different things? Like Deek is just like has so many meanings.
Yeah, it's the
and, like,
the-
they have vampire
it's
language.
it's the there of vampire language. You know, you got 3 types of theirs. You got like 8 types of deeks.
Somebody finish summarizing this fucking movie. I swear to God. I want to get to like what we
Summarize
actually
it in
liked about.
vampire. Just Deke.
Yeah,
Deke.
just say Deke.
The store, Deke.
Deke. Yeah, just
I'm
do
done
that
with this one,
for like
Deke.
10 more minutes. It won't drive everyone insane like it did to me while we were watching the movie.
No,
It's
Nick,
great,
they
though.
have senses of humor.
It's not that funny.
It's hilarious.
There were plenty of other things that were funny in the movie and things that we said like out of the recording.
That's
For
true.
instance, great segue back to summarizing, because
Uh,
Lung
what?
couldn't stop laughing at the
I do it.
vampires attacking the town.
You know, I just couldn't stop doing that. But now we're back on track. Thank you, Nick. Anyway, back on track to this
I
story.
know you said back on track like twice, dude.
Yeah.
Back on track.
Fucking Christ! Do you want to? We're gonna have like a compilation of you saying "back on track" by the end of this.
Followed
I would
by
love
Deke.
That would be
by me,
amazing.
like wanting to smash my head against.
But
the wall.
anyway,
Right, yeah.
yeah, like, you know, I've been like he just like so happens to walk into this diner and see like this stranger that no one's ever seen before because it's a small town too, and you see the population is like 152 people, right?
Yeah.
So everyone knows each other, and like so this guy to just be
It's
like come out
sure
of
that
nowhere.
you know that because they showed the sign at the beginning.
Yeah. Like they even changed it to like 100. It went from 153 to 152.
Yeah, because somebody left to go to Seattle.
No, because didn't somebody die?
No.
I don't
No.
know. Anyway,
No.
they change it, and like he goes in there, like no one's seen this guy. This guy did like and it's brought up like he couldn't have come through the airport. Someone would have seen him. He didn't drive there. He walked, as we saw, like he walked in, and they were
Yeah,
like,
they
wondering like,
find
where
his
he came
footsteps.
from.
Like, actually, they find his footsteps like while they're also checking the burnt cell phones. I think they also like find the path of his footsteps.
You guys seem really like confused about the burnt cell phone thing. You know why he burnt all the cell phones, right?
Yeah, so they couldn't communicate with anyone outside the town. I get why that happened.
All right, cool. You got that too.
Yeah,
right?
no,
No, I'm just saying they also found this thing aside from the burnt cell phone pile.
Yeah,
Like they also see his
I
footsteps.
I suppose I should have more faith in you guys that you would have gotten the burnt cell
We're
phone.
not that.
thing.
Why would they burn? Oh, they can't text each other. No, fucking.
maybe it
Of
wasn't-
course they.
That's actually the
Maybe
exact
it was
reason.
punk kids. Like maybe it really was like an FU to mom and dad.
Yeah, dude, they stole the entire town cell
Fuck you,
phone as a
Dad, you're
real
not my
FU to
mom.
mom and dad.
I don't know how they like possibly did that though.
The
Like,
entire town's cell phone is what I said. They have one big cell phone.
oh, it was one big cell phone.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Are
that
you
was
fucking?
I thought it was multiple.
What?
I didn't see like how many there were.
There was a pile of
It
cell
was
phones.
multiple. I was making
Okay.
a joke, buddy.
Yeah,
Did you
alright.
actually think it was
I
one
didn't know.
big
I
giant
guess I must have missed the
brick
scene.
cell phone like from the
Guess he must have missed
90s?
it, dude.
Are you kidding
Probably.
me?
Guess he must have missed it.
Am I going insane?
The entire town's cell phones
Yeah.
just stolen and burned.
Right.
I'm going insane.
Okay.
Cool.
But they locked the guy in the jail, right?
Yeah, they like just start
Trying to
asking
explain this
questions,
one part
and
for
you
a
know,
while
like he's not cooperating. And instead of like using this time to, well, you know, like this guy's building it up, like you guys don't know what's coming. You're all gonna die. You smell that? It's death.
Cut to like I want to say
It's-
20 minutes ahead. Because nothing really happens after he gives that vague warning. Everyone dies. They just
Yeah, a lot of people just start
Did you just
dying.
shove Lung ahead in the summary, dude?
well because nothing happens.
Yeah, like
afterwards.
nothing interesting happens at the very least.
Honestly, you could skip like if you were really like
There's a few Ben Foster scenes that are pretty good. I like the little.
no.
voice he's
I'm
doing.
saying like after the Ben Foster stuff, which is again the vague threats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, one or two people die off screen, kind of.
No, they show.
Oh, they show the one guy- no, they show the one guy-
barreling through the window.
No. That's later. There's the one thing where it's the three like, it's the two guys and that one girl. They're like leaving the fucking factory or whatever in town that like runs the power plant that sustains electricity.
Was that the guy I kept thinking was Joel Edgerton?
No, he wasn't involved in that.
Who was he? He was the.
He was one of the randos.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like one of the few people that died before again everyone dies. They just like they're like having like a buddy like they look like they're ready to go back to the diner or whatever and tell them like, oh man, we're gonna get ourselves some coffees and you know just like beat the heat or the cold or something.
Beat the heat.
You beat the heat. You know,
Yeah,
it's really
I
hot
forgot
down there in
I forgot that they were on a beach.
Yeah.
They were on
this whole
they
thing
were on
takes place
Cape
on a
Cod.
beach, actually.
The threat is the sun wolf, dude.
We're not talking about fucking Sunwolf. No, we're talking about goddamn vampires, man.
The sun wolf.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, because they pull the guy off screen and they do that like every horror movie. It's not just this fucking vampire movie. They do the like.
Well, you just get like random clips of like people dying in like brutal ways, and like the vampires have like a really weird way of like eating people too. Like when they have like their head on you, they like to shake their like head back and forth, or they're like a dog with like something in its mouth.
When their head is removed from your neck, it's only like one little like bite thing.
Yeah,
it's not not little, but it's like one bite. You think their neck would be shredded, you know?
No, I mean, I guess it's like, well, we didn't really like do a fucking zoom in or anything like that.
They showed it. They
show it, but like first, it's not like fucking zoomed in or whatever. But there are other ones like the first guy that dies, like at once it starts like really becoming night. They show you like really fucking going into his neck because these vampires have a very distinct look that's not like in any other. I think it's like the only thing that's like it's not like any other fucking vampire film where it's just the fucking fangs and they have normal teeth besides that.
Yeah, I was reading about the production of this movie. They worked really hard on making the vampires look completely unique to this movie.
They're practically
because they are very unique looking towards this movie. Like you don't see other vampires looking like how they do.
It's almost like if they were sharks
and they were like it though. I'm a sucker for the original.
Honestly,
like
though,
fangs?
No, you know what though? Because I remember reading something with the director when he was doing an interview or something, or someone that was like asking him the question, or like interviewing him about the movie, and it was kind of funny because he was saying like it's just like a perfect like F you to Twilight because that was also out around this time. That like it was just this total like antithesis of what Twilight was, like this total like and so this like melodramatic fucking drama we got going on here with some fucking Kristen Stewart. We got like they just come and they're like fucking
they're
sharks.
They don't speak English. They just fucking murder people.
They say deek and they eat people.
I've never seen they do say deek
and they say it quite a bit though.
They say it 3 times. Don't
I've
say
never
like
seen the Twilight
dialogue.
movies because
you can suss out that it's a fucking melodrama.
Oh, I know that.
And it's also pretty interesting. So like the leader is the only one that speaks. The other ones just like kind of make like sounds.
Yeah, they just keep going like that. I think that was actually pretty close to how they sounded.
Yeah, I don't know. None of them look like the leader though.
I think
none of them look like the leader. They like the other ones. They look more deformed. Like they have like longer heads.
They look more like wolves. Like they have like this weird nose thing going on.
Well, that's why I was saying like sharks because it's almost like it almost looks like a fucking like the snout of like a shark too.
I see what you mean.
No, because everyone except the leader. I think it was also more so to not even if you just remember.
What if you don't remember, just try to say there that was crazy.
All right,
man.
fuck you. Fuck you. I'm having another stroke. Time to call 911. No, I'm saying I think they.
No, I'm saying.
Shut the fuck up. No, I think they intentionally gave the guy who was playing the leader, like intentionally like less effect on the face, just so you can, like, tell them apart from the rest of them, like just besides the clothing that he was wearing.
Yeah, well, like the rest of them like have like like they look like they can extend like their mouths like out like really.
They're almost like fucking fish eyes or something like that. I don't even know how you would describe it. They're like fucking slanted, but like diagonally. Their eyes. It looks weird. Well,
especially that one bald guy.
Oh yeah, and
the Marilyn Manson looking one with the suit
oh my god,
jacket.
It looks crazy. Yeah. And then they all have the same like jawline and everything, like the cheekbones like very like just almost protruding out on some of them. Very weird.
Yeah.
They look pretty freaky. It's pretty awesome though.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate that they worked really hard on the design and the aesthetic and everything.
Definitely
they made the language. They actually got a linguist or something to help them make the language.
Oh, so it is its own original language.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
I'm thinking it's some European.
Yeah, no. I knew for a fact that you were making a stupid.
I want to meet the genius that like made "geek" into the word and put it into the movie.
A multiple meaning word too.
Yeah, multiple meaning. They really like that one. They're like,
"Deek."
This is such a great word. I want this
jaw
to mean so many things.
Like 10 feet deep.
Just a jaw. Deek.
So just to I mean, I guess just to finish it, because I kind of want to get into like how we all like what we liked and
You're not
disliked
gonna
about
finish.
it.
He has to finish. The
He has to finish it.
He doesn't watch movies. It's important for him to finish.
Oh, okay. I guess it is.
Well, nobody's finishing it, and I was gonna kind of take the reins.
You keep getting really frustrated by how long it's taking us to finish.
Well,
the synopsis.
We keep getting sidetracked by other things.
I fucking brought up Hoodwinked earlier, and you were trying to say some shit about Antarctica.
Finish the movie.
Alright, so...
to shut him up.
There are vampires. They've come out of nowhere.
No shit, there are vampires! Are you fucking kidding me? So they're...
Yeah, if you couldn't tell already, I'm gonna say it again.
We just spent like 10 minutes describing. So there's vampires that show up in fucking Alaska.
Get this right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's just reading the back of the box now.
Vampires, they're here.
Apparently they're vampires.
In quotes, Deke.
So apparently they're like vampires in this movie.
The official tagline is Deke.
30 days of
30
night.
days of night. Deke.
30 days of Deke.
30 days of Deke.
Deke, New York Times.
Oh my god, finish the fucking summary.
Jesus.
So they're vampires.
So they're vampires, right?
Oh my god.
It's weird.
So they're like 12 times.
What did they do when the vampires show up, Lug?
All the people, they die. Like,
they die?
Yeah, they died horribly.
All
Most of them.
Every single one of them?
That's not all of them. You know, some of them do survive and just die later on. But for the majority, like, I think most people in the town die at the end of the movie.
But do all the main characters die right away, Long?
No, not all the main characters die right away, Dillon. They do not. In fact, the main characters do not die. They, in fact, live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wowee. Who would have thought that one?
That was the most sarcastic wow I've ever fucking heard. Wow. Yeah. You gave him, like, the stank side look, too. Jesus. Keep going along.
And, you know, these vampires, they can't be killed. Like, they shoot at them. It doesn't work. And, you know, like, the people that shoot at them, they just die anyway.
Imagine if this movie was so simple that you could just shoot at the vampire and they died.
Yeah.
Just bang.
What, like...
Woo!
It happens, like, a couple times, like, later on in the movie. Like, where the guy's, like, in the thing, and he's, like, shooting at the not the zombies, the vampires.
Well, they have that overhead shot, too, with all the CG blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
they're shooting amazing, by the way. I got to say how much I love that.
The CG blood is amazing?
No, not the CG blood. I'm just saying the overhead shot where they're just violently, like, ending everyone's life in the town.
And it shows people, like, shooting at the vampires, and it doesn't do anything, you know?
It does get some of them. I feel like there was one or two that, like, dropped and they did
the
not
ones
get
that
back.
get turned into
but
the ones that get turned into town, it looks like you can kill them with, like, bullets. But, like, the main crew that, like, follow the head guy around, and, you know, they don't speak English, like, those, like, they can't be hurt by bullets, as it would seem.
Well, so what did the main characters do to avoid being killed by zombies?
Yeah,
by vampires?
Everyone's gonna say zombies at once because they're like zombies. They just go around and they kill like nonsensically.
It's the same basic thing. People get bitten and turned into vampires.
They're just a lot smarter and like stronger.
There's a reason
faster.
I was saying they were acting like sharks.
That's the one big thing with all these like old monsters, werewolves, zombies, vampires. They all like bite you or something, and then or scratch you or something, and then you turn into them because that's so scary.
Yeah, it's weird. They actually, you know what though? To be fair, like they are very like distinct vampires in this movie, but they do follow a lot of the like the vampire like established fucking rules with them at least. Like it's kind of nice.
You can't be out in sunlight. They
can't be out in sunlight.
You can't be killed by like conventional means like that.
I like the effects when they do go out in sunlight though, like the burning effects. I feel like
they don't. Yeah, they don't just like dissolve into dust. They just.
I know you haven't seen it, but was it Let Me In, the American version, and Let the Right One In, when that woman like they pull back the curtain in the hospital room, and she just goes on fire or whatever.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also like, okay, she goes on fire. Like, I like that they, like, ash over in this, you know? Like
Wasn't it an Interview with a Vampire? They just turn into, like, stone or some shit?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I think they turn to, like, stone and then dissipate. Like, and they just, like, their ashes, like, fly away.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. It's like, a weird thing. Anyway.
All right.
I
So
don't know
anyway,
where you are in the summary.
yeah, I don't.
We were just talking about because the vampires are the bulk of the whole film. Like vampires attacking the civilians. You know.
Yeah.
Civilians.
And like people are
They're just
confused
the
like to
people.
what's happening. They don't know what they are.
Yeah,
but I don't know at one point like they decided like, oh, they're vampires.
It sounds like a traditional like zombie outbreak story. Like you're a town. The creatures come. There's a lot of them. They start attacking people. People turn into them. They hide. I thought that was the funniest part of the whole thing. Was they every time they got to like a safe place, we can't stay here.
yeah, like every time. Like,
wait, but it's not all of them. Or later on, a lot more of them start
First,
saying
they hide in an attic, and that's where we're at. An attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like we're just left with like the main characters now. Like everyone
By
else
the
is
way,
dead.
Who are they, Lung?
I gotta remember who these people are now. Yeah, you have like the two people in it. Like you have Evan, like the sheriff. You have
Are you saying Evan or Eben?
Evan.
Yeah, good.
You have his.
I thought you said Evan.
His ex-wife. You have
His soon-to-be ex-wife. They're like divorced or not. Who knows?
No, they're not yet.
They never fucking clarify.
Well, they keep telling them to get back together or whatever. So.
We should go meet up with us later and talk to each other and not get separated.
Right.
You
So
have
Melissa George's character.
You have like the sheriff's brother, who I don't remember his name.
Who? Jake, I think.
You have like this old dude.
The Alzheimer's guy.
Yeah, I don't know who he was.
You got his. I don't know who he is either.
He was just like there.
You have his son, who I kept thinking was Joel Edgerton.
I don't know who that is, but I digress. Yeah, I had like a big burly
Long
dude.
doesn't know movies.
Yeah, I really don't.
You have
It's
a
really
big
sad.
burly dude played by Mark Boone Jr. from Sons of Anarchy, and
My favorite character of this fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah, well, he's the cool guy. Like every one of these like monster outbreak, vampire, zombie, whatever movies, they all have
Like that one breakout character, I guess.
Yeah. Well, not breakout character, but they have the one like, oh, dude, relentlessly cool character.
Well, he does like the most damage to these vampires too.
Right.
Because he initially gets them in the attic because he's like, you find out very early on in the film he's like the loner. He like lives in this fucking house that like is surrounded by abandoned houses in this very small town to begin with, and he just lives there alone, like boarded up, everything, which fucking helps them later anyway, so they don't just immediately get broken into. And they hide in the attic right away.
So they hide in the attic. This is where we're at. And there's the old guy, and he's got Alzheimer's. So he keeps like yelling and stuff because he doesn't remember where they are. Like,
he keeps
what
asking
they're doing.
for his wife, but his wife's been dead for years. He keeps going to the fucking
And then there's
Wainwright.
the scene that me and Lung kept laughing about that you just mentioned, where he like walks down the stairs and he's like, "I'm walking to Wainwright," it's like 60 miles away or
No,
something.
it's like, dude, it's 80 miles away, and you'll die if you go out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to Wainwright. I'll die if I stay in here.
Oh no, wait. That's not.
And then doesn't he crawl out the window
Yeah,
and go to
no.
Wainwright?
They let him go into the bathroom without.
Does he get dragged out the window?
No.
He goes out
no.
He
willingly.
just voluntarily
just-
walks
He
out.
opened up the window.
I
and he
think
jumped out.
honestly, I think it probably like he opened the window and got, because you don't see him after that scene.
Yeah.
So I think
He
what
was
was
really
assumed
excited
was.
to go to Wainwright.
I think what
You can't
what
beat
is
those
ass-
prices
I think
just to die
just
for.
to speculate here because they don't show you, so I'm just gonna make
Maybe
up a
they
thing
do,
really
and we were
quickly.
just talking through it.
No. I was paying attention to it. They don't show you him because they show you his son going after him, but they don't show you what happens to him. So what I'm gonna assume what happened is one of them was up on the roof, and they were like, "Oh, we got some like."
I was hoping the dad would jump in on his son and yell like "Deke" and attack him.
No, yeah. Well, you hope that, but that wasn't gonna happen, and I really wish that you would stop saying "Deke," but because it's getting on my nerves.
But it already was.
It's been on my nerves all fucking night. How many times you said "Deke"?
Yeah.
Oh, she should stop Deacon saying Deke.
Yeah,
My
dude.
fucking
What
lord.
the Deke?
Oh, I'm gonna have to hear that for like the next fucking week from you two. But
Deke.
You think it's just gonna be a week, man?
yeah, I know it's gonna be like a month or so afterwards. We're gonna totally forget about the
Week.
movie.
Get it? Week rhymes with Deke.
This guy.
This guy over here.
This guy.
Really funny. So, no, what I honestly what I think what happens is one of them was up on the roof, and they were just like, Deke, and then they fucking found he said Wainwright as a response to Deke. And then they were just like...
Wainwright?
I was following him for a second there. I thought he was actually describing a scene.
No, I'm just speculating what happened because we don't see him.
Yeah,
afterwards.
he yelled Wainwright. They yelled
No,
Deke, and then they made a sandwich together.
And then they ate him after the sandwich was consumed. And then we never see that father again.
I'm walking to Wainwright.
Dad, it's like 80 miles away. I'm Wainwright. He might as well
I'll
have
die
died.
if I stay here.
Then they're like, we can't stay here. No. Something. The vampires start using people as bait. That's when they start doing that, right?
Well, like, the people are, like, just going out there looking for help. Like, they're just, like, following them around, seeing if anyone actually does.
I forgot to mention one thing, because at that point, I think when they start using the live bait... Yeah, throughout the movie, you'll see, like... because, again, 30... There's the number in the title. So they keep, like, counting down, like, the amount of time that they... Like, throughout the month. So, like, I think it's, like...
is when they got in the attic.
Well, that's when they first got in the attic, but I think it's, like, day 18 that they're still, like... Either in the attic or it's like right before him when they start using the live bait.
So yeah, they look from the attic. They see like the girl walking through the street,
and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta help her." And then he's just like, "No, the rooftops though."
But then she can't get anybody, and she turns around. She's like, "They're not coming or whatever. It's not my fault."
Yeah, and then they decide because they killed most people in this town already. They're just gonna play with their food, and they just start like.
They
slicing her,
slapping her and stuff.
Yeah,
they don't fucking slap her. They
really do.
Deke, you didn't get us the food. Yeah, they really do that.
Start slapping her. They start slapping her, dude.
No,
they backhand her.
They fuck
like multiple times.
I forgot. So there's a scene earlier where somebody breaks their fucking their ankle?
Yeah, no, like it's like a vampire like beneath a house.
Yeah.
And
we've already passed the point where we could talk about it, so we can
the guy's got the gun, and like all of a sudden you just see like an arm like come out, backhand this guy's leg, and it breaks.
Actually,
like I
was gonna bring this up in our likes and dislikes segment from that we were.
We might as well just jump into it. Just to, I'm really gonna finish the thing right now, and I don't care that Lung's not finishing it. So what ends up happening is just skipping past the attic and shit. Using live bait, they run into a little girl who's a vampire because apparently they somehow got to a little girl and they changed her, I guess, as like another bait tool because they figure out like bringing out live people isn't going to work.
Bringing it.
Yeah, they keep bringing out all these different ways to like bait them into.
She
some
was
sort of
live
trap.
bait, right? She wasn't just doing some weird blood thing.
No. That little girl was a vampire.
Because for a second, I thought about... Wait, the little girl was a vampire?
No, she was... You don't remember she had the fucking teeth and everything?
I thought that was the other one. That
No.
The grinder that they had a weird name for.
Oh, yeah, the utility...
No, the Muffin Man.
Yeah, the Muffin...
Oh,
the Muffin Monster.
The Muffin Monster. Yeah. Do you know the Muffin Monster? No, yeah, because they use her as like... Because it's funny because she doesn't know that weird language that they have. And she just is like, I'm done playing with this one. And then she just starts like jumping on them like that. Right. And then you find out later it jumps on some guy.
She didn't like start doing the weird noises, but like you'd see like all the other ones that were turned into town, they do the weird noises.
But she started screeching after she like started attacking that
one
guy.
How long do you think it takes between
that little girl?
Wait, I have a question. How long do you think it takes between when they're bitten and transformed into vampires, and when they like spontaneously learn vampire language?
I figured it would be
like at what point?
It's probably like.
Do you go to vampire school? Do they like adopt you into their culture?
I would say the Marlowe guy definitely fucking
comes up to you and he's like, "Deek means run,"
and every other word in our language converting it to English.
Right.
Yeah. Totally. You probably have to just learn the language from that little weird culty group thing they have going on there.
Seems like a task, You get turned into a vampire and you get like just
you have to learn the Deke language.
Of tasks, Yeah, you
have to learn Deke or whatever the official name.
Deke, but you know what I mean. Like you get like a bunch of tasks, and it's
you probably have to kill person.
It's exhausting.
Test. Fail it, we just kill you.
Yeah, that's what the stranger did. Like the stranger had a whole bunch of tests.
He does that anyway. Like so later on, like just because I'm trying to skip this along here because we spent too much time on this attic.
Well, that
part.
was what was so interesting, right? So the stranger, we're not on the attic part anymore. The stranger was.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to move us past.
He was doing what they wanted to do because he Like, he was
Because he
following
wanted
their
to turn
orders
into a
because he
vampire.
wanted to be a vampire. The rest of them were doing it just so they didn't get eaten.
Yeah, so they could just survive a little bit longer, or they thought they would make it out. I don't know why, like... I guess Marlowe was the only one that knew English, because there are the times where he's like, God? Yeah? Or, like, whatever he says.
Like, looking around for him. Can't find
Yeah,
him.
that's actually one of the best... I
No,
think
he
that's
said
one of the...
no God.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
it was,
God?
yeah.
Just looking around.
I know,
No. He says...
It's a good scene.
Yeah, no, it's just... yeah. Fucking amazing scene. It's like tense as shit. Like, I was like on the edge of my seat watching that. What are you looking at me like I have 5 heads for?
I was looking at him like he had 5 heads, but
What was he scratching his ass?
I guess. I don't know what was happening.
I don't.
Anyway.
Okay.
What were we saying?
So there are vampires in this movie.
Hey, did you guys know there were vampires?
you
in
were
this
sitting
movie?
on the edge of your seat, right?
Yeah, just because I don't know. It was like a nice little like tense scene. If you weren't already on the edge of your seat watching this, that's just a little added bonus for you, I guess.
Right.
What were we just talking? We were just talking about the
We were
God scene.
finishing the summary.
Oh yeah, so just, I mean, the whole like rest of the movie is like the only actually. It's funny too that they're smart about like how they move out, because they were only able to move from the attic when there was like an actual blizzard. I mean, they're surrounded by snow the whole time, but since like they had that like nice little like fog thing
Right.
from the blizzard going, that's when they were able to move. And I guess the vampires weren't able to move during the blizzard. Like they never.
And it's never really explained, and it's also really weird because, like, what do the vampires do when, like, they're not killing people?
I think
Like,
they
you
just.
see them,
I
like,
think they just
crawl
stand
out from,
around
like,
in a
their-
circle
Yeah, they like
and they
hide
say
in a
deep.
cave or something.
Yeah, but like, it's nighttime. Like, shouldn't they just be out, like, looking around, like, trying to find, like, this remaining people?
I know, they seem to have I think maybe they wanted to like dominate this one town and do it like that. I don't know. They have all the time in the world to figure out how they're going to kill people. I don't think their
they don't need to
method doesn't
sleep.
really matter that much.
They don't really need to sleep. They got all the food. They slaughtered a whole bunch of people. They don't really need to eat.
Yeah, they're
or
gonna have to change
drink
that.
or
They're gonna have to change that number card at the front of the town,
maybe just a little bit.
at the entrance. Yeah, they're just probably gonna bring it down to like 6.
You want to talk about the climax, Long?
The climax. Oh, where like Evan like injects vampire blood into him and like fights the leader.
Honestly, it's one of the weirdest choices in a movie. I think because like if you're not thinking about it, you're just like, what the fuck is he doing that for?
So many questions that I have about that.
Well, you
It
guys
makes sense.
busted out laughing because he walks up and just punches the guy in the face.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you don't expect it.
Oh
Like,
my god!
you have like this cool scene, like you see him like walk up to him, but then like it's like one of the weakest punches. They like bopped him like right in the face. Like it didn't
to
have
be
like
fair-
any impact at all.
So
it just
I
it's
just
like,
want to like
the guy had like Marlo had like the face like what the fuck, you know?
no, he's just like, did I get decked in the face by this fucking guy?
Like, I didn't expect him to do that. Holy shit!
Doesn't it take the terror out of the
Yeah.
whole equation?
Can I just
that
like?
his name is
Can I just
Marlo?
wait? Can I
Yeah,
just,
it really
yeah,
does.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
unfortunate.
it's good that they don't mention it that much, so it's not like a consistent like you're just like,
Like if you just say, "Oh, he
God,
punched
it's
the head
fucking Marlo.
vampire," it sounds so much
Yeah.
better.
Oh, you punched Marlon.
Yeah.
I just want to compare and contrast here really quickly. So, I mean, like one of the scenes right before, he confronts the head vampire with also vampire strength and all their abilities and everything. You have the guy from Sons of Anarchy who you just mentioned his name, but I forgot it.
Mark Boone Jr.
Mark Boone Jr. You have his character. He's just because he's using himself as a distraction so they can rescue somebody or move everyone else to another hiding place in the town.
Right.
And
That's like a recurring.
yeah, that's like a recurring thing they do. They have to do
like,
everything
sacrifice
with
themselves. They move to
Yeah.
a different location, then they
But,
do the same thing.
yeah, but it's done uniquely enough each time, so it doesn't feel repetitive. I mean, it sounds pretty repetitive. We're talking
I
about
don't
it,
know.
but
I think it's kind of repetitive.
no, when you're mentioning it, but I
don't like to be negative
about
about films at all. There's a lot about this thing that I do like.
No,
It's
me
just
too.
That I don't.
It's
kinda
it's
repetitive.
one. I guess it's like a major aspect because that's what they have to do in
That's
this
my
movie. Did you just hit the table?
That's my same problem.
Like I like twitched my leg and hit the bottom of the
hey.
table.
It's my same problem with like The Walking Dead. It's kind of repetitive. I love The Walking Dead, especially the comic book. But the show
kind of sucks dick.
Yeah, but the biggest problem with the show was that, and the comic, Robert Kirkman's an incredible author. Stop dropping things. What are you doing?
I dropped a water bottle and Dylan got
Man,
mad.
he's kicking the table. You're dropping water bottles. I'm trying to explain why I don't like The Walking Dead.
We're talking about fucking 30 Days a Night, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I can't talk about repetitive, like monster stories.
Is he not complaining about sidetracking?
So we're talking about 30 Days a Night. Let me tell you about Winnie the Pooh here. What a great show. What a great set of movies.
Just finish the stupid climax.
So yeah, he fights like the head vampire guy, and you think he's gonna lose, but like, you know, Marlo makes the mistake of like, oh, like I'm gonna like charge up for attack, and like flies at him, and like so what Edwin does is like the greatest move ever. Like he uses like the arm that like he broke, that like, you know, that Marlo broke, and he punches like a literal hole like right through his head.
It's like a Mortal
into
Kombat
his mouth,
fatality.
out the back of his head.
It's literally like a Mortal Kombat fatality. And we just looked at it and we were like, oh,
and like,
shit.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the CG doesn't help it too, because it kind of looks like it's
It looks
like
like metal.
It looks like he has like a metal arm, like a Terminator.
No, because
2
it,
thing.
Yeah, it really did
it
look
looked
like
weird
it.
that like, well, he didn't punch him with the arm that was broken.
Looked
by
like
the way.
he did.
No,
It looked
because
like
he
he
They
like
didn't break his arm. They broke his
no,
hand.
yeah, he didn't punch with the broken hand. That would he wouldn't be able to punch through his fucking head.
No, I don't
if that was
think
the case.
I don't think he did.
No. He was.
I think
his left arm
was
broke,
broke.
and he like went ha with
Like
his
he
right
just
hand.
Did like a high school bully finger bend thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's also really funny too, because you never see. I guess they couldn't do the effect even with CG that his fingers fully bend backwards, or he makes them do that.
No,
so
I
it
think
looks
they
like,
meant to do like the stupid.
No, they meant to do
bully
that.
attack.
No, yeah, because you're watching it during the movie. He's just like, it's supposed to be he bends his fingers backwards, but it looks like he's just holding his hand like slightly.
Yeah,
And he's just like, and I'm like, all right, dude, really?
it's kind of pathetic.
What are you, fucking drama queen?
They stopped the fight to do a weird bully. Like,
Anyway,
finger bend.
the fucking movie ends with a Mortal Kombat fatality, and then the sun comes up, and then Josh Hartnett fades into fucking ash or whatever. Becomes an ashy
And like, you know,
boy.
like all the other vampires, I guess it's just like, I guess they just
Yeah, they
fuck
just
off.
they just fuck off. They're just like, oh, you killed our head guy. I guess we just
Like,
go back to our fucking
like,
the
tombs.
damn,
sun
that
was
sucks.
coming up. They ran away.
Well, no, but it wasn't fully away when he killed the head vampire guy. It was still technically night.
Well, they knew it
had
was
to
coming,
no,
right?
I don't know why they didn't kill him. Like, I don't know why they
Oh,
didn't
no,
kill
I
him.
don't know why they didn't.
Well, because he killed their heads. They were like, "Oh, dude, new alpha."
Oh yeah, let's fuck off to our tombs again,
They're like
right, guys?
wolves, dude. You know, new
Yeah, but
alpha. Watch out, Junga. You know.
Well, I mean, like, wouldn't they follow him
Junga?
then?
What the fuck is that?
Junga? If he was the new alpha, like, wouldn't they follow him? They just, like, fucked off. They just, like, went away.
No, it's true. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird that they didn't follow him, and then they all
None of them have the leadership capabilities that are required to do anything about that.
None of them could say Deke, so none of them could truly be the head alpha.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been
They
amazing?
go in the cave and they just practice saying
Honestly-
Deke, and the one that can say Deke the best is the new leader.
Honestly,
New alpha.
the only time
They,
that the
and
Deke
his
joke...
his name is like Murphy or like
Yeah,
like
they just give him
Mervin or something.
Yeah, they
It's
changed his name
Melvin.
from they just changed his name
Something
from
with an
Evan to
M.
Melvin.
something like really like embarrassing. Each time it has to get more embarrassing. Marlowe, then it's like
Melvin.
Merlin or something.
Merlin?
Stewart.
Stewart.
Stuart Little.
Oh, the head vampire
Douglas.
Stewart. Douglas.
That's funny because that was actually one of the guys' names. That was the guy who kept saying that he wanted to leave and like flee to another part of the town.
Michi or something.
Michi?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So besides what we discussed, does anybody have any likes or dislikes?
I'm gonna give you run down my quick likes really quickly.
Oh, dude, you got a written down list here.
Yeah. It's pretty much the stuff. Some of the stuff I said already, but I always love gore in my horror movies. So again, that overhead shot where just everyone's getting mauled, love that.
I don't like the CG blood.
No, I wish it was practical too. Trust me. I don't know. I really liked Josh Hartnett's performance in this. I really did like.
It wasn't doing anything crazy.
Oh no, it wasn't doing anything crazy or anything like that. But it was still like I don't know. He just sold it that stuck in this weird predicament with fucking vampires in an Alaskan town.
I've liked him in other stuff though. Why am I the negative guy? I don't like being negative about films. He's very good in this. Personally, I like him better in Sin City, and I like him better in Virgin Suicides. But he was. Yeah. This is definitely, I would consider, one of his best. Maybe not one of his best movies, but one of his best performances.
I and again, it was just what we were saying with the vampires. I really do appreciate that they went out and they created this whole other. It's not really shown in anything else. Every other vampire movie, even after this, is just still the same. It's either Twilight or it's back to Dracula, like Lugosi Dracula.
Yeah, like a classic vampire
with the fangs and everything like that. They don't really.
Because it's recognizable. I like the originality too.
It's just like a shame that. I mean, I think the only other thing that they did with this property was a weird DVD sequel, straight to DVD. Or something.
They did a DVD straight to video.
It was probably garbage.
Sequel.
I kind of want to see it. Yeah, we'll do it on our own time.
We'll watch it some other time or some shit. And then it was just again the originality with the vampires. The only few things I could say that were kind of a negative for me. Other than the main characters, they're not really memorable like the other supporting characters.
That was one of mine
even the main character, like Eben's brother, does nothing other than play Sorry the board game, and then just
be sorry for himself.
He makes it through the entire thing.
No, he makes it.
He does nothing. He doesn't
do anything. There's also the girl and the hostess from the diner that they somehow lived throughout the whole time.
She did. I wasn't paying attention.
They did.
That's what we were talking about. We were watching
the thing.
No, they were good survivors. Don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of weird that those are the two they decided to keep throughout the whole film.
I mean, Evan's brother he decapitated that little girl vampire, and that was, or was that someone else? I don't even remember. Yeah. But I think it was him. Yeah. But that's about all he does in the movie. He really doesn't do
just
anything else
kills
except
little
for
girl
be sorry
vampire.
for himself.
Yeah, and he's just oh, she was a little girl, and they gets traumatized.
I was really bothered by the inconsistent strength of the vampires in this movie, because we were talking about earlier. The one guy will swat. In the beginning, the one guy...
Which made us laugh, by the way. It was very hysterical.
It was just Lung's response was really funny.
It was just so goofy looking, too, because he literally just backhands and, he knocked over, a stick that was standing up.
Yeah, they're that strong, and then later on, they're fighting one. One-on-one fighting, a big one. And he's kicking people, and they're just, getting up.
Yeah,
I've seen human beings in movies kick people harder.
Yeah. There's a because there's
I feel like they have no impact.
No, because that's true. Because he slaps the guy's ankle, it breaks.
All right, for instance, right? Think about this. In the movie, Josh Hartnett injects himself and becomes a vampire, right?
Yeah,
and he does that so he could fight the other vampire, the head vampire. Wouldn't it make more of an impact if every other one-on-one fight scene that they had with a vampire was a bloodbath? They just, were so strong. They knocked, they broke the guy's leg with a swat. Imagine what they could do in a one-on-one fight. And then at the very end, the only way that he could stop them is by turning into a vampire himself. So maybe he, walks up, he punches it, the thing punches back, and it doesn't, kill him right away. And it's oh, man.
Now it's an actual, even fighting game.
It would be so impactful. But they don't do that.
It's still kind of there in the film, but it would be more impactful, if it was something that.
I mean, it's kind of there, but it's sloppy bread.
Yeah, it's really not.
The only other things that really bugged me about it was just because I guess I felt bad for the character. Again, Keith, what was his name? Kenneth Boone or whatever.
Mark Boone Jr.
Jesus, I don't know where I got Kenneth from. Mark Boone Jr. His character's death kind of I was just really? Because his whole thing...
What was his character's name?
Jesus Christ.
I thought you just said it.
No, I was naming the actor, that's why. But, I don't know, I hated the way his character kind of went, and this was something we all, kind of were agreement on. Because he does, the most...
Bo.
Yeah, Bo. So Bo does, the most damage, besides Josh Hartnett at the end, pulling a fatality move. He does the most damage because he takes this huge construction site machine, and
I don't
just
know what that's like used for.
who know? It's probably like some big weird snowplow thing. But like he just like he like runs over like two vampires,
scene,
cuts one in half because there's like some weird ice saw thing on this, and then he rams it into a building, and he's like gonna shoot some of them out, and then like say fuck it, and then like he had like a crate of dynamite or whatever, and he lit with a flare, and the whole building explodes, and you're like, oh, that's kind of sad, but like. He like made a decent sacrifice, and then he lives.
He somehow lives.
Yeah, and then they like step on his head,
and then they do the same.
And Marlos like steps on his head.
Yeah, like so anticlimactic. Why didn't he just die in the explosion? Like what they did to him.
Look, I honestly
they made him a god.
I actually liked
a sudden explosion.
I liked that they stepped on his head. I thought it was a cool scene.
Yeah, I liked it too, but it just didn't really make any sense.
You can't like even if you want to go out like a like the way
you can,
he did, like a blaze of glory. Like sometimes you can't.
I guess.
I didn't mind that.
I don't know. It just
made
kind
it
of
more sad, made it more impactful.
It didn't. I didn't
if
make
he was
it sad
standing
for me.
farther away from the explosion, I could maybe see that being a possibility.
He stood right in front of the box
I'm
of
talking
dynamite.
about. I like that they stepped on his head. I'm not saying I like that. I think the logic of the scene works.
Yeah, no, it's just like because then he steps on the scene. It was like
the problem is like
it felt like a lamer
2000s. Like most early 2000s movies, they were overzealous with their effects, especially the computer ones.
They don't even show you his head like caved in though. That's this.
I was talking about with the explosion.
Oh yeah,
running over people, and they make the whole scene so crazy. And
then they just like
and it's like, all right, there's no way he could possibly survive that.
It just kind of ruins the whole like initial like explosion thing. Yeah, because it's like I agree with you, Lung. Because if it was something he was standing like he like threw the flare at the dynamite and he like dove behind like the bar or whatever he ran into, it'd make a little bit more sense. But he fucking does it right in front of him because he knows he's gonna fucking go out like a fucking champ. And then they just like stops us. It's like worse than the girl getting slapped in the middle of the square.
They're like all standing around her, just slapping her.
I think that's
all
why
they're doing.
No, because when we were watching it, we were all just like, "Oh, that's like really lame," and we just like the girl getting slapped was like way more like that got me more. The girl getting slapped around and than his head getting caved in because I originally wanted to die in the fire.
Yeah, I know.
It sucked.
I mean, I think I have quite a few dislikes about him. Like a lot of that you mentioned, like
Holy
like
shit,
a lot of
he's
the
got
characters.
like a full index card list there.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Most of the characters, they like the aside from like the main characters, like Evan and like his ex wife, I assume. Like they don't really do anything. They also don't seem to feel sad when people die. Like no one, like I've seen really no one really cried in the movie. Despite like everyone they ever known and loved being slaughtered by vampires, like no one really seemed all too upset about it. They all seemed to be fine. Like, all right, I guess we're just surviving now. We're all fine. Let's just stay up here.
But at the same time, the characters were like super emotional and connected to each other, and I kept getting aggravated because I was like, dude, you guys gotta like shut that off.
What do you like rubbing your chest for?
Yeah, he's gotta shut that off.
He's like rubbing his nipples right now. What the hell?
You guys gotta shut that off because. You're all gonna die.
Because there's vampires in this movie, right?
And then, like, yeah, you're gonna die, and I'm, like, not gonna feel bad that you're dead, because, oh, well. Because, like, yeah, like, they're all, like, moving, and, like, one guy just, like, gets, like, tackled and eaten by a vampire. They don't even try and help him. They just, like, just move on. And, like, don't even bother with it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't feel sad about it, like, he's never brought up again. Like, he's just forgotten about it.
They really don't care about the bait girl, too, initially.
Yeah.
They really don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah, like, oh, she's bait.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. Look at the rooftops. We're not going outside.
Yeah. Like, trust me. Like, this isn't a good idea.
No, there's a couple people that jump on it.
Yeah, like, Evan goes outside initially to save her, but gets sidetracked by...
Like a guy under a house?
No, it was the guy... It was actually the guy who got his fucking ankle slapped and got it broken in two.
So he fails the mission of, like, saving this girl.
I think it was him. I think it was him.
No, it was the guy. Okay. Because... He was originally he was underneath one of the houses because he was trying to save his wife, who earlier in the film was getting like pulled under and eaten. Did he
get sidetracked because they kept slapping the girl? And he saw that and he was like, "Oh, I guess I can better go on this like mission to save."
No, because he thought it was yeah, they do some weird thing. I saw it like right away. So they do this thing. He's like hiding underneath the house.
Yeah,
and no, because you think it's initially like, oh, he's like telling him like, dude, come over here so like you won't get like seen by them.
Yeah.
And then he's pulling him out and you see he's like, It's like one of the first like transformation things. You see him like have like the bloodshot eyes that they have, and you see his teeth starting to form in that razor sharp thing that they have.
Yeah.
So it's also like, oh, he could just. I guess he turned from a fucking ankle shattering slap or whatever.
No, they probably bit him.
I
Off
guess.
screen.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, we didn't see, and like he managed to turn and like went after. I mean, like as soon as he got close.
Yeah, like oopsie poopsie, and then but it's pretty cool though. We get a nice like head chopping scene. There's some CG in there, but it's nice head chopping like on a playground scene. It's really weird.
Yeah,
like that's how we kill them. We have to just remove their head violently.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing that says vampires will live if you chop off their head.
I don't see why they wouldn't work. Another thing that you guys didn't mention, I'm surprised you didn't mention, like, is the use of shaky cam. And,
yeah,
like, how
I was gonna bring that up. That was also on my disc.
Yeah, I really hate that, man.
This is only, but it's like a very specific shaky cam, and it was very like relevant around the time of this movie. It was like probably one of the first films that started doing it, and like every other action film and like wherever they could shove it into, they were doing it. It's like this weird horizontal shaky cam. Not like this weird like vertical thing that they do in like horror movies now with like, we mentioned like It with or Pennywise with the new It films. Mm-hmm. But it's not just like Pennywise, he just shakes his head and that's also with the camera, but it's mainly focused on him. It's just the whole screen shakes.
Yeah. And
if you have fucking motion sickness, I'm sorry if you're watching it, but you're gonna fucking vomit or something after you watch it. It's annoying. Yeah. It's just like annoyingly distracting, that camera technique.
Nobody likes it. I don't know why they keep doing it.
I don't think they do it a lot nowadays, but just at that time they were really doing it.
I feel like each director is like, I'm going to be the one that's going to make it work.
Also,
it never works. The weird Nobody likes it.
Also, the weird thing with it too, because they were doing it later, especially with that one scene where they were all tackling the one vampire in that muffin monster scene.
Right.
The frames start getting the frame count.
Yeah, I saw that.
Starts getting higher too.
Yeah,
it's like a weird
one scene where they're killing the lead guy is killing. There's like a scene there. They're killing some girl. I think in a house. It's like early on, with the frame rate gets really weird.
Yeah, it's the girl that. It's the one where he jumps through the kitchen window.
Yeah.
Must have bad ping.
Yeah, they just
shut up.
They just I don't know. They do that. They do that at random points in the movie, and I don't like that at all. Yeah,
I those are my really only I don't know. I didn't really have as much dislikes. Apparently, you have more.
Another one is the timing of this movie. Time just skips around just randomly. Like you don't really see people surviving too much. You just see them in a room. Like, oh, we're led to believe they stayed in this room for 7 days. You don't really see them sleep all that much. He just skips around. Yeah. They move a little bit. They ended up in this place, and now we're past a week again.
You know what the weird thing is too? That they really should have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's repetitive. They get there, and then it cuts to the next scene. We can't stay here.
Actually, you know what's weird? Maybe this is just me. I think one thing that could have benefited the film, and maybe I'm just the odd one out on this.
Do you remember they get in the car and they're like, all right, we got to get in the car. Melissa George and I think.
Then they flip the car over?
No. I think it's that scene, but that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. Where they get in the car, and then the next scene is stop the car.
Oh,
and then 2 seconds later, get back in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, we
got to this place. We can't stay here. The next scene, they keep doing that.
The whole movie felt like it took place in one day, but we're led to believe it took place over the course of a month.
You know what's weird, too? I'm surprised they didn't do it. I think it would have really benefited from a them getting food scene. We never see them fucking eat anything. Yeah, they're stuck in the attic. What did they just sneak downstairs? Oh, we had plenty of food in the fucking pantry.
I assume they had food around.
Maybe that's
dude. There's also the one scene with the girl.
Really drink either.
Yeah, no. What are they drinking their own piss? They're pulling a Bear Grylls.
They keep going. We can't stay here.
They're eating the snow.
Originally, I thought it was because we don't have any food, we don't have any water or anything like that. But
they just
don't
leave
get
to leave.
They just go to the next place. They're just still starving or something.
No, yeah, they're only leaving because they're it's not safe anymore because they were they were doing tip tapping their toes on the roof. We gotta leave. The vampires. I mean, they were tip tapping on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They were tap dancing.
Yeah. So, unless you got any more problems.
The last one that I had down was that the vampires off screen, they don't really seem to do anything. I don't know what they were doing in their free time. They're just they're just hanging out.
Well, don't you remember? There's the one scene where he's trying to.
Is this movie oddly bright for taking place at night?
I mean,
it could be.
It's weird that they didn't give it dimmer lighting.
Me, I'm remembering it being
well.
Bright.
It makes sense later because they set the whole town on fire. That's also when the
when they're in the attic.
fight scene happened.
Yeah, well, when they're in the attic, they had the lights on.
Yeah, but even outside, everything just seemed
like the moonlight reflecting off the snow.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Yeah,
it's probably some bullshit whatever excuse like that.
Yeah, but if a vampire isn't killing someone in some way, they don't seem to be doing anything. Literally just hanging out and having a good time.
there's the one scene. There's the one scene where he's making the diversion so they can move places in town,
right.
And then you just see the main guy. You just see Marlo with his vampire girlfriend. They're just standing on top of a building where they have a nice romantic fucking.
It's a cool shot.
Looking at the
what
clouds.
Are they doing?
Where were they just staring at the clouds? Oh, what does the cloud look like? And they just kept saying "Deek."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having a nice romantic fucking
Deek Fest, yeah,
Deek Fest on top of the roof.
Deek Fest 2007.
Deektober.
Deektober, guys, it's Deektober.
Oh my fucking lord! Anything else you want to any other complaints you have?
Any other complaints? Yeah, a lot of attacks didn't seem like they had much of an impact at all.
That's another thing. As much as I love that gory attack scene of the town where everyone's running around either shooting or just getting mauled. Mm-hmm. If you do pay attention, there are some of them where it's that slap thing we were just talking about,
right? Where
they're just a vampire just run. I remember it was happening towards the bottom of the screen because they're doing a weird scroll up thing over this overview shot, and they just There's the one guy who just it almost like a punch or a slap or something he just slaps him and it's just it's also the CG effect but it's also just an immediate pool of blood. Would he just just slap his stomach out of his chest?
Oh, she slapped all the blood out of my body. How could you?
Jesus.
And then the last thing that I would dislike, it goes into the question that I wrote down. Yeah. It's it has to do with the end of the movie, where he injected vampire blood into him.
Yeah.
I wrote down, why does he, keep his humanity and, his morals where, everyone else in the town, when they were changed, all they did was want to kill other people, what you would think. Why isn't that, yeah,
well,
they even brought up...
The other guy keeps his morals. Well, the guy who's I'm so thirsty, or whatever.
Well, he was hiding his transformation, that's why. Yeah. I think the weird thing, it's really weird, because they just kind of rush it with him injecting himself with the vampire blood.
Right.
They make it they make it a weird thing where he's saying he's thirsty and all that, but when Josh Hartnett does it, it's they were slowly losing their thing because they were slowly turning I'm doing it right now, injecting it directly into my system so that I immediately become it and I'm still kind of technically myself before I start losing my fucking mind. I that's really the only explanation I could give to it. I'm not saying it's good or whatever, but that's the only reason I could give for that to be the case.
His teeth are turning, he still has his mind, and I'm gonna go out there, but he gets all of his powers, his vampire powers, he's just as strong as them. He can take a beating from them, and his goal is I'm gonna kill the head guy.
But he's still in control enough to hang out with his girlfriend or wife or whatever at the end.
Yeah, that's also that was just,
yeah. They share a kiss too, and you even it was funny because you even said it, they're kissing and he's just oh man, don't do that because it's just
do that.
How is he not biting off her lips?
Yeah, I don't know. The rules are so weird in this. I suppose they're not focused on the rules.
Other than the main vampire rules.
And it makes
this,
obviously because I don't know them.
It's the Clearly. One rule that you do see consistently is sunlight does hurt them.
Sunlight hurts them.
They turn them into very flaky boys.
And
I guess they're
they
fast
kill people
and strong
just
or whatever.
At on site, we'll just kill them.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't even seem like they drank their blood or anything. Just kill them.
Yeah. Just
so overall,
maybe they came back later, and they're just like a sink or something, and just drank the blood that way. I don't know.
So overall, Nick, out of 4, what would you give this movie?
I don't want to give it like I don't want to give it a 4 out of 4.
Would you give 30 Days of Night?
I give it a 3 out of 4.
I'd say a 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
You had a whole list of complaints. I'm
gonna
surprised.
Listen, it's entertaining, but I wouldn't say like it's like all that great of a movie.
Lung was the logic police, and he had too many complaints. Damn it!
I liked it.
I liked my movies to be like I can suspend my suspension of disbelief for a little bit, but I like to have them be at least have it make sense within the realm of your own movie. At least,
not that we have to question it.
I like the environment. I like the monster. I like the characters.
Yeah, I like that too. But
I liked Ben Foster. I liked everybody. I thought it was good. I don't know. 3 out of 4 seems fine for me.
So we're two out of 3 of us are in agreement for 3, and you're just like you have too many problems.
What's the average? 2.5.
Yeah, 2/3 of us. Yeah,
8 out of 12. It's pretty
8
good.
out of 12.
No.
It's not bad.
All right, so that's it, guys. 30 Days of Night, 2007 is about 2.5 stars out of 4.
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's our show. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we had a very rambly sidetracking review here for everyone. Yeah.
Until next Wednesday, 12 a.m.
Yeah. Until we lose our sanities and we don't sleep.
Yep.
Until next time, everyone. Bye-bye. No one else is going to say goodbye?
No.
Oh, all right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.